Earl, would you talk about happiness? Very well. Though it's going to be different for absolutely everybody. I think that there's some fundamentals. Let's talk about some fundamentals. Number one, breathing. How's breathing going to make me happy? Well, have you seen Fight Club? Do you remember when Tyler Durden talked about why oxygen comes out of the overhead compartments in an emergency? Oxygen's really important and could have a great effect on the mind, body, and spirit. So, well, I know how to breathe. Do ya? Do you know? Let's try breathing this way. Get to a point where you could sit or stand with your back straight. And then on a 4 count through your mouth, slowly breathe in. Like 1, 2, 3, 4. And fill up your belly. Don't fill up your chest. Breathe into your belly. And slow down that 4 count as much as you can. Really fill up that belly. And then when you exhale through your nose. And exhale on another 4 count. And when you exhale, get all that oxygen out. So that on your next long, deep breath, you pull in fresh oxygen. None of that stale stuff left over from that last breath. And just keep that up. Just keep rolling it. Just filling up your body full of oxygen and completely exhaling it. Get it all out. Just do that for a while. It will help. I guarantee it. Help you be happy. Help you not be sad. It'll help your body kind of almost get used to that you're asking it to do something, which is to be calmer, to be happier. Kind of shakes the whole body up a little bit. Okay, so breathing. The next thing is you're already pretty happy. It's hard to go through the day without some little form of happiness, and probably a lot more than you think. And it might be that warm feeling you get in your belly right after you eat a pancake. And it might just be a matter of searching. I mean, maybe a lot of things don't register as this makes me happy. So do an exercise. Either do this for a day or for however long you could pull off. Every time something makes you happy, write it down. And put as much detail as you can, because actually it's kind of fun when, like I found I had 2 gloves, and I lost one for a really long time when I found it. And the happiness of finding that one glove was a little bit almost inordinate. It was a lot of happiness for finding a glove. But I mean, even remembering how happy I was to find that one glove and thinking, really, should finding a glove make me this happy? I think that's part of these joys. So become like a joy treasure hunter, and anything like finding an extra glove, or a delicious meal, or seeing something that makes you giggle, anything. And when you look back on that, you realize, really, there was that much happiness involved in that day, because I was kind of bummed that day. It's true, you can be bummed, and during that bummed day, you can find a whole bunch of instances of happiness. All right, third one, because we're running out of coffee. And breathing and remembering happiness is important. And here's one. Here's one that I discovered kind of by accident, in that I wanted to go out to see a movie, and I started calling up people I knew, and you want to go see a movie, and one thing or another wasn't working out. And so I hung up the phone, and I was just sitting around, I was reading a book, and suddenly I realized, well, wait a minute, why aren't I going to see the movie? And I thought, well, what if I had called me, and I said, hey, well, who's going? Who's all going to this movie? And I said, oh, Earl is. I'm like, I don't feel like hanging out with Earl. I would have been, what? So I went to go see this movie. I'm like, I'm going to go see this movie alone. And I don't know if I've ever done that before. I feel certain that I hadn't actually. And then when I arrived for the movie, I showed up at the wrong time. So I had like 45 minutes to kill. And so I went to a coffee shop and had coffee. And I'd never done that alone either. I'd snagged a coffee on the way somewhere, but I'd never sat down with a cup of coffee and just sat there, you know. So I thought, well, I got to occupy myself. So I wrote down a list of all the things that I like to do that I'd never done alone. Because I figure if all those things that I like to do, and I always wait for somebody else to join me, if I did those alone, my social life, so to speak, the amount of activities I would do would greatly increase. And the more active I am, the happier I am. And so while I was drinking my coffee alone for the very first time, getting ready to go see a movie alone for the very first time, I wrote down a list. And I kept it. And I wrote it down in order of what I thought would be most difficult. And the very last one, the most difficult thing, is I went to a fancy restaurant alone and had dinner. And by then I'd had a lot of practice, and I had a great meal. And I really enjoyed my own company. And I mean, I didn't know that back then. I didn't know that I was such a pleasure to hang out with. So I mean, that's something you could try. Try that breathing. You could do it all the time. Try that writing down cool memories and things that make you happy throughout the day. You'll be surprised at how many you come up with. And maybe make that list. Maybe make that list of things that you would only do with other people but you enjoy, and go do it by yourself. Start digging your own company if you don't already. All right. Look at this. Look where we're at. Freeway. So, my thoughts, Earl, on happiness. That's right, you knew I was on something. All right, everybody. See you in the tubes.